It's currently 9:30 a.m. Saturday, September 17th, 2022. Just a little update. I have still not sold this Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens, which is kind of surprising because it's a pretty popular lens. It's a pretty popular lens for like YouTube, and it's a pretty good lens for photography as well. It's nice and wide and very sharp and very bright. It's also for a fairly popular mount, the Sony E mount, and I thought that I would have no problems getting rid of it, but yeah, here we are a couple of weeks later, and I'm still waiting to sell it. I don't think my price is all that unreasonable. I currently have it at $250, and I checked on eBay to see what they're going for. It's usually around that kind of price. Now, I will say that I have not listed it on eBay. I'm sure if I did, I would get a lot more interest. So far, I've only listed it locally, so just on local Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. So I'm sure that's a big reason as to why I still own the lens. But I don't know, I just don't really want to deal with eBay. I think eBay is fine and all, but like I don't want to have to mail my lens, and I know that eBay takes a cut too. I've never sold anything on eBay, and so I don't know. I just don't want to take that risk. I know plenty of people have done eBay, even people that I know have done eBay, but I don't know. That's just a step that I didn't want to take with this lens because I thought that I would have no problem moving it. Now, I will say that almost immediately after listing, I got some scam messages, asking for like my bank info and, oh, we're interested in this. You want to give me your routing number or whatever, and I'll buy it right now. I'm like, no, I'd rather you come and take a look at the lens first and purchase the lens in person. And then they disappeared. So yeah, it's weird. I don't have any solid leads. I will say one person did message me just this week. He's from a little bit away, so not super local. But he is, he seems interested. He does seem like a real person because I've messaged him a couple times. Of course, he's already haggling me for the price without even seeing it. But I don't know, he claims to be a film student, which is like, perfect because this lens is honestly, it's great for that purpose, if you want to do vlogging and stuff like that. So anyway, I may end up meeting him this weekend. We'll see, and hopefully sell that lens. I'm not looking to, clearly I'm not looking to make any profit on it. I purchased it new. I'm selling it used, so I'm clearly not going to make anything from this. But I just want to recoup a decent enough price and move it quickly so I can move on to a different lens, namely the Sony 11mm f1.8. In terms of other things that have happened recently, well, the Queen died. That's unfortunate. I know the issue, the monarchy, is going to spark a lot of divided opinion. I myself, not really a fan of the monarchy. But that said, all the atrocities that have been committed by monarchies in the past hasn't necessarily been committed by Queen Elizabeth herself. And so I think it's okay to mourn her. I will say that people need to remember that through most of human history and in the majority of the world, monarchy has been the dominant form of government. It's not democracy. As much as we love democracy now, that's actually a relatively new thing, and very, very new thing in human history. And it wasn't that long ago that the majority of the world was essentially a monarchy. And so as a result, we're still kind of trying to figure out democracy. We think that it's the perfect system, it's the right system, and personally, I am a fan of democracy. Um, but the thing is, democracy is a relatively young thing. We're still figuring it out. We're still kind of discovering the kinks, and as a technology has progressed, we are kind of seeing some of its weaknesses, right? Where it's subject to attacks, and there's a whole lot of misinformation out there that was difficult to foresee when democracy was conceived. So it's not an infallible system. Interestingly, I will say that democracy itself probably became more possible because of technology, right? Because it used to be, I mean, think about it. Like, how would you reliably count votes? Back in maybe the days of ancient Greece, you might have tens of thousands of votes you might count. Nowadays, hundreds of millions, right? The order of magnitude for counting votes and doing it securely, reliably, is something that was aided by technology. So I don't think it's an accident that democracy is it's a relatively new thing because it has been aided by advances in human technology. But it's also being attacked by modern technology. Wow, that stopped being about the Queen real quick. In terms of other news recently, the iPhone 14 and 14 Pro were announced, along with the Apple Watch Pro. There's also the AirPods 2, whatever. AirPods Pro 2. I don't really much care for Apple Watch, so we won't talk about it. But iPhone 14, it's a very, very incremental upgrade. Like to me, it's almost entirely a software upgrade. There's almost nothing new about that phone, which is very disappointing. I know that it's gotten a new standard camera, which is fine, except like I don't know that it's a whole lot better. I for the most part can't tell the difference between my iPhone 13 and my wife's iPhone 13 Pro Max. The standard camera on those two are different, but like I can hardly tell the difference. And I imagine the iPhone 14's upgrade is also going to be fairly difficult to see the difference. The wide angle didn't get changed, which is too bad because like that's the lens that I would be more interested in. I want something wide, something wider, right? I mean that was kind of the reason one of the big reasons why I went from the iPhone 10 to the iPhone 13. It was for that wide angle. But they didn't update that, so it looks like they did update the selfie camera, which is what I'm using now. It's quickly becoming one of the most important cameras for me because of this, vlogging thing that I'm doing. And I imagine for a lot of people, the selfie camera is one of their most used cameras. And so an upgrade there is certainly welcome, though I don't know how much it has improved. So we'll see, but there's not a really compelling reason to upgrade at the moment. Now the iPhone 14 Pro got some more updates. I think in their ultra wide as well, in their standard lens, obviously, and their selfie camera. Again, I don't know that it's necessarily a whole lot better. We'll see. it's just not very compelling. It seems like a very boring update, and so yeah, I'm not somebody who has ever updated a phone after just 1 year anyway. So I doubt that this is the one that's going to make me do it. Even though I have to say, I got the cheapest phone, the iPhone 13 mini, this guy, and in the smallest storage, kind of because like I was thinking about it. I was thinking, well, if I get the cheapest phone, maybe like maybe I can update year on year, and then it won't feel like such a hit to my wallet, right? But yeah, this lineup is just not that compelling, so I don't think I'm going to do it. Now, action mode does look pretty interesting though. It's essentially, I think it's just essentially what like GoPros and other sort of similar action cameras have been doing for a while. So that's great. Though the form factor of a phone still doesn't make it the best for that kind of use case scenario, the action camera use case scenario. But anyway, it's still nice to have. In a pinch, if you don't have your GoPro, pull out your phone and run with it, I guess. So yeah. Well, yeah, one thing I should probably point out, because it's got to be very obvious by now, I am shooting this vertically. I've decided to make that decision going forward. I've never been a big fan of vertical videos, but if I'm honest with myself, the majority of the time I'm looking at videos on my phone, and even if I do watch videos on my iPad, I prefer holding it vertically than horizontally. And so why am I shooting videos horizontally? Like that would only be an advantage if I watch videos on like my laptop or on my TV. And like I was saying, the vast majority of times I'm watching videos on my phone, which has got a vertical screen. So I'm just gonna shoot it like this. And if I'm honest with myself, it's actually easier to hold the phone vertically than horizontally. So I'm gonna keep doing this, at least for these style videos, the sort of vlog style videos. In terms of other things I want to talk about, I do want to talk about a few movies that I've seen recently. RRR, Top Gun Maverick, and I guess it's not really a movie, it's a show. It's the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. I want to talk about these, but these will be in a separate video because I think those deserve a little bit more time. I will say that we recently started watching Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and I'm not quite finished yet, but I'm like at least, if not more than halfway through. So I got a kind of sense of where it's going and what it's all about. I think as an anime, it's well done enough. The art style is great. It's got a lot of the same design language from the Cyberpunk 2077 game, and it even uses a lot of the same sound effects. My guess is even some of the voice actors, like Wakako. So it really does feel a little bit nostalgic, even though Cyberpunk 2077 wasn't from that long ago. But anyway, I think it's okay, but it still feels too anime-ish for me. I don't know. I know that the anime has historically had some pretty important works in the cyberpunk genre. But I don't know. For me, like, cyberpunk hasn't really been anime. Like, for me, cyberpunk is like Blade Runner, that kind of stuff, rather than, Bubblegum Crisis or other animes like that. So I don't know. Cyberpunk Edgerunner feels very anime-ish, which I mean, it means that like there's a lot of the same sort of very similar themes as a lot of other anime shows. You got like some loner kid who's like the hero. There's like a very obvious love interest from the very beginning, and who's like who starts out very distant, and is like the quiet nerdy type too, and but over the course of working together, they form a bond. I don't know. It feels like Ayanami Rei and Shinji, from Evangelion. It's like such a common anime trope, and I don't feel like Cyberpunk did anything different. You know, sure, it takes place in a cyberpunk universe, and sure, it's got sort of the no holds barred violence that you would expect from a mature show, but like it still feels very anime, which to me is too bad. I feel like Cyberpunk should be more about sort of like the seedy, sort of criminal underworld that can happen in some kind of dystopian, technology-driven world. Yeah, it's okay. My verdict is that Cyberpunk Edgerunners is okay, but it's still just an anime. So don't expect too much from it. All right, I think I might end this one here. I got some stuff to do. I gotta install this new baby car seat in my car. I'm gonna clean out my bird feeder as well. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.